Why am I always the one
Can
praying?
he pray for us?
No.
Catholic.
I know I'm not good at this making
Hail
up
Mary.
on the fly.
Pray sin.
Hail Mary.
All I know is like Hail Marys and
Don't do that. Just
I
pray.
can do 10 Hail Marys and 10 Our Fathers and be out of confession in about 3.5 minutes.
No. Pray sin, please. You can do it.
Okay. Heavenly Father, we pray that you come down on this table with all of us here, with Mary, Rob, and Larry and myself, and give us the words of wisdom that are going to help somebody out there. Somebody listening is going to hear what we say, and it's going to make a difference in their lives and help them have a better life moving forward with their friends, their family, as they get healed with what they need to heal. Amen.
Amen.
Let's go to work. What was wrong with that?
I don't know.
Robert, we're back.
What's happening, buddy? Hey.
Hey, you need to look at you drinking out of your mug, pretending with your pinky out. Let's talk about your week last week.
What?
Stop getting into my alcohol refrigerator over there.
What week?
Your week that you had last week.
Last week or last 2 weeks? Last week when I went
Your
to Nevada?
last 3 weeks that you had Hey, you know what? It's very rare that I call you and you are exhausted.
Nope, you're right.
Very, very rare.
That was the first time, I think.
We literally were talking about you last night because we still think that a lot of the meth that you did back in high school, that you're still infused with some of it.
You know what I think? Like when I
Well, I'm actually surprised you think, but
I never get over 180 pounds, Jim. But when if I try to lean down, like I do sometimes, I'll get on to just a clean diet. I don't eat dirty anyway, really. And I think like if I lose a little bit of fat, all that meth comes back out. I get another hit. Get another hit. And go. So that's why
we need video, because you really need to see his facial expressions.
Let's go.
His powdered accelerant comes flying back at him. So talk to us about your last 2 weeks.
Last 2 weeks. Well, where I was up at 2:30 every morning 2 weeks ago, every day up at Brad's place, and then then we had to drive. I had to go get my. Listen to this bullshit. This is where God.
See how I struck him? He got going.
Listen to this, Jim. So
let's fire him up.
One of my bosses, I got two bosses. One he says, "Hey, we're gonna go to Canada look at a hot plant. Do you have your passport?" No. Gotta get your passport. Okay, so I start looking for it. Okay, you can fast pass it if you go to post office, but it was like 3 weeks. So I was trying to get. I don't want to go to Canada. So I'm trying to get out of it everywhere I can. So I go back, hey, because he wants me to fly out that next Wednesday. This was Thursday, Wednesday. So I can't do it. Both bosses are there, and hey, 3 weeks is all I can do. That's the best they can do. And he goes, well, you go to, because he said the same shit.
I said the same thing.
He goes, well, you can go to San Francisco and you can get it that day. And I said, yeah, but I'm not driving to fucking Frisco, and I'm not paying $300 out of my pocket. And then my boss, the big boss looked as well. You drive a company vehicle. It's our gas. We'll reimburse you for your parking. We'll reimburse you for your. I was like, I flipped him off. Fuck the both of you. Off I go the next day to.
And he calls me. He calls me and he's in traffic, right? And I'm like,
well, I didn't know. Okay,
dude, you're fucked.
I went Jim. I went there at 9 a.m. Okay, I got there early, and I figured I'd have to wait a couple hours for them to do it. Did all that. Okay, Mr. Thomas, come back at 3 p.m. I'm like, I got to sit in this fucking, and I used to love Frisco until Gavin Newsom did what Gavin Newsom did to it. Anyway, again, not political. So
that building is a shithole too.
So I'm there, just sitting in my truck eating almonds and drinking water.
No Cheetos?
No Cheetos.
That's you.
Just listening, and then I got to go from there to where I had to go to one of my plants because she's actually one of us. Her son had his appendix rupture, so she's in the hospital. So we're trying to fill in our Waymasters, which I can do almost everything. Been there long enough. So I got to go back to work after that all day there, then go work a night shift to run scales. I'm pissed off. I'm hungry. When I get that, my kryptonite is hangry.
Oh yeah.
That's that. So he's upset. I'm upset. I hit the Altamont and I grab up my.
What was I upset about?
Coaching.
Oh yeah.
You're leaving.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah. So we're not really helping each other. We're just fueling the fucking fire. I crack my energy drinks. I'm in traffic. It goes all over my nuts. I'm just sitting there, just trying to laugh, sit it down, and then he goes, "You need to go to In-N-Out Burger.
I told him exactly how to get in, because trust me, I used to be 420 pounds. There ain't a fucking hamburger in this valley that I don't know where to get it.
And I know where every In-N-Out burger's at.
Yeah,
So
and I told him where to get off, how to get there, exactly how long it was going to take him. I said it was going to take you 16.5. Get in there, get you a couple hamburgers. And I said, even get you a second one because he was going to have to work all night. I said, get you a second one that you can heat up in the microwave for your lunch. Did he listen to me?
well, I went in the wrong way. Because I've never
You
been.
didn't go the way I fucking told you. That's why.
I went into the In-N-Out burger the wrong way, and I looked at the lines. I only had so much time to get to there, get the commuter fired up, get the trucks, tear it in. Like, fuck it, you ain't gonna make it. And there was a wreck, so I went down Grant Line, missed the wreck. I'll go to In-N-Out Burger, which is on Kettleman Lane in Lodi. It's real close. I get there, that line's fucking long. There's no one at Cane's Chicken, and I don't eat fast food much. I go, fuck, I'll just go get me some chicken. So I get chicken.
This is the best part. Keep going.
I'm driving to the plant. I got the chicken on my, right between between the chicken. I'm just eating. I got two. It wasn't bad chicken, and there's some bitch ahead of me, stupid bitch. And I knew what she was going to do. I could tell. There's two guys behind me. I could tell because there's two lanes and they go two lanes. But I can tell she wants to go to the McDonald's, so she's going to cut me off. So luckily I dodged her. Didn't let them. The guy behind me gave me a thumbs up because slick ass driving. But I had to goose it a little bit. Where do you think my food went? The fucking back. I got the second piece of chicken that I had. Half the energy drink still there because I'm so fucking pissed. I just threw that fucker down, get to work.
I worked all night hangry.
You guys should have In-N-Out should be your sponsor because when I was driving up here, he tells me, "Where you at?" And I told him, "Well, just pull off here and take this highway and you can get to In-N-Out." And I said, the lines are always too long. I'm not. Oh no! If you go turn here,
yeah, but if you walk into an In-N-Out, if you actually go inside, we always get seats inside.
Right.
Oh,
right.
But
I've never been in one.
But I'm going to tell you right now, it was so funny. People used to make fun of me back when I was driving truck, right? People would ask me, they'd call me. My name was Lunch Bucket on the CB back because I used to carry a big ice chest in the middle of my seats. I had a Peterbilt and it sat right in between my seats. And it was a big one. It wasn't a little lunch box. It was a big ass one. People would get in there and make sandwiches because my wife she wouldn't just make sandwiches. She would give me a loaf of bread. She'd give me, she'd have everything to make sandwiches in there. But my brother would get up in there and make him a sandwich. Other people thought it was okay. So they just get up there and make themselves a sandwich. So I got nicknamed Lunch Bucket. And I was 400 some pounds. I was a big bastard. And people would ask me, "Hey Larry, where can I eat here?" And I'd tell them exactly where to stop and eat. Anywhere. In fact, when I'd look at my dispatch of a morning, I'd say, okay, I'm going to do that load. Then I'm going to stop and get food here. Then I'm going to just same way as I did my alcohol later on in
Dave's
life.
Hot Chicken.
Later in life, I did same damn thing, right? At
With
450 pounds. I got there for a reason, and it was food addiction. And then I got rid of my food addiction and changed it out for alcohol addiction. Thank you, Mr. Gastric Bypass.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear that swallow? That was a good one.
That was a good one.
I'm going to leave that one in.
Leave that in there. Okay. Now, so Tuesday of this week, or this last week, I show up because Wednesday we're supposed to go to Canada. Well, apparently I said I come in the afternoon, so I'd go around all the other plants. And he goes, "Hey, plans changed." I said, "We're not going to Canada." Nope. Tomorrow we're going to Ely, Nevada. E-L-Y. I think that's Eli, but he says it's pronounced Ely. Okay. So get up early, drive 8 hours to the middle of nowhere. I mean, middle of fucking, no one, there's not on the way to somewhere. It's a good place to be from, apparently, but there's nothing there. And then we got there late in the evening, 8, went to sleep, woke up 6 in the morning, went out, checked out a plant for 3 hours, and then drove back. Just 16 hours. It was, that just wiped me out.
Then you took your daughter to college.
Then I took my daughter to college yesterday.
When I talked to Rob yesterday afternoon and asked if he was going to go to dinner with us, I heard this, "Hello." I'm like, "Yeah, you ain't going to dinner with us." Yeah. He was done.
Well, what was good is I paid for dinner because Rob said I had to, and that was your shot. You don't get another one.
Yeah.
It's funny is we went to breakfast yesterday.
Where'd you guys eat at?
We went to Las Consuelas there in Modesto, new one.
Did you get that molcajete?
Oh yeah,
He always gets that.
Yeah, Katie and I did. And what's funny is we went to breakfast yesterday. I paid for breakfast, and I looked at it. I said, "Yeah, I got breakfast because you're getting dinner, and it's more expensive." So I bought breakfast. And I'll guarantee you, Brad and Grace was with us, so he paid a lot more for dinner than.
So you met Brad?
Yeah, I met Brad.
Okay,
I met Brad at breakfast and at dinner.
So he's the foreman. I used to be the foreman at the plant. He's the foreman at. So when I got to that's where I was going to run the scales. So when I got there, I threw my fucking doors open in the truck, started throwing chicken out because it was all in the back, throwing the sauce out, throwing the French fries out. The animals can have that shit. So the next day he comes in and because he went back on the camera, he goes, "Hey, is your door okay?" I said, "What?" He goes, "Is the door on your pickup okay? I'm worried about it." Because after I threw all that shit out, I grabbed the door and just slammed the fuck out of it, which I rarely do. I mean, it's rare that I don't, but it does happen. I mean, that shit, when it boils up, it's going to come out somehow. And either I could rip a truck driver's head off, which probably would have happened, or my loader man or something just snap at somebody, or I could just beat the door up real quick.
Yeah.
Get the chicken out of my fucking truck.
Hey, I got a question, though, about the passport. Why didn't you have a passport? You just went to Canada about, 3 months ago?
I didn't go with him.
Oh, you didn't go?
It was him and Jay.
The height requirement.
That's my twin that you saw in the
He
picture.
didn't meet the height requirement.
Yeah, who was it? There was 3 of you
was
in the
Jason.
picture. Oh,
He just looks like me.
Yeah, I thought it was you.
No.
No, them two look just
So I was wondering what you did with your passport.
No.
You
Jason's
just
more
were lying
handsome.
to your bosses. I didn't want to rat you out on air, but lying to your bosses, you didn't have one.
Hey, so I want to talk about a couple things. You brought a topic. Let's hit us with it.
Well, which one? About the relapse? And
Yeah.
I was thinking, me personally, I mean, it's all of us. I shouldn't say me personally. We're all scared of relapse, and not scared, but relapse is,
If you ain't thinking about it,
it's something on your mind.
Is it really?
I think
do you not, after all these years, you don't ever, that's not ever like,
It wasn't my problem.
no. I think you're missing the question. That never comes up like, fuck, I hope I never do that, right? But well, listen, we live day to day, right? We're only.
I mean, I thank God for
only
my
have-
sobriety every day.
So do I.
Every day.
But when I see somebody of 15 years of sobriety and 20 some years of sobriety go back out,
What were they doing before that?
and you're 1,000% right. The guy speaking up that when we went up to Maynard's,
Right.
the guy had 5 years and he's back in there.
Now, if I'm not going to meetings, if I quit talking to God, if I quit praying, like those, quit working with others, the big 3 that people do when they go back out. Because I interrogate everybody, Jim, from the time I was a day sober, till now. What happened? I don't care. I like the guy that I started.
he did the same thing when we
I
were
started
up there.
sponsoring the gentleman, and started step work on Saturday.
Right.
Sunday he was drunk until He called me Thursday. Then I finally called back. So we started step work. You drank the next day. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to hear fucking sorry. I'm trying to help the next guy. What happened? Oh well, I had been
it's the same
I had
reason.
been smoking pot, and then the marijuana maintenance program. Let's talk about that. And then it wasn't working for him because he's an alcoholic. But it was just curing this. He thought, I could have a couple. Oh, I go. So you said those 3 words. When he guessed the 3 words, I've got this.
Yeah.
And no, you don't got it. So the marijuana maintenance program is what he tried. Didn't work. Started drinking again. Okay, so now I can help the next person.
Well, and I'm with you. I agree that alcohol's not our problem, right? It's our character flaws. That's where I'm terrified. Is not relapsing with the alcohol, because that was a symptom I was covering my bullshit with.
Right.
Character
You're talking about.
I'm scared of my character flaws coming
behavior.
back. My behaviors.
Well,
that's what
never
I was the biggest prick.
We never get rid of all of them, but why? We never get rid of all of our character behavior. Your character defects. They'll if you keep working on them, like the 10th step talks about, God will smooth them, the rough edges. We're never going to be perfect. However, you get some faith. Here's because it's fear. The 12 by 12 says all of our character defects. The catalyst is self-centered pride or self-centered fear is what it is. Pride and ego equals fear. Fear equals pride and ego. Same thing. I have a buddy named Jason because we talked about
I was waiting for you to bring this one up.
Well, because I have a paper here, Jim, here because I was bored at one of these stupid fucking AA meetings that I go to all these years, and I had written down every word fear is used in the big book. Never is there a healthy fear. It doesn't allow for that. Neither does the Bible. The Bible allows for one fear of the Lord, and it's not a reverent awe. It's not. The word is fucking fear in the Greek. The word is fear in the Hebrew. Fear. Get over that. So. In the
Got him preaching, baby. Come on.
In the big book, it doesn't allow for that either. We have to be fearless, right? It's an evil and corroding thread. We outgrow it, the big book says. So my buddy Jason, I said, he goes, well, Rob, I have a healthy fear of snakes. I said, really? Jason's a pretty tough kid. And I said, so if I go grab a gopher snake and hold it up to you, you're going to run away like a bitch? He says, no, but a rattlesnake I would. I go, why? He goes, because it can kill you. Oh, death is the fear. It just manifests itself as a rattlesnake. Let's get some faith, like the big book talks about, working on that death problem. The snake will disappear, I promise you. Well, I have a healthy fear of relapse. I said, really? Or a healthy fear of alcohol. I said, really? Why? He goes, I don't want to go back to being the man that I was. Oh, relapse is the fear then, Jason. It's just looking like a bottle of Jack Daniels. Let's get some faith. Let's get some God working on that relapse fear. That bottle will disappear. Mine did. if you go to page 64, Jim, like I'm about to, I didn't know.
You see his book?
Yeah.
It's
Call it a
destroyed.
book.
Oh, well,
Those are pamphlets.
I apologize. I'm going to go to page 62. It says, so our troubles, wrong one.
They're out of order.
They're out of order.
Yeah. How'd you put here? You want my book? It's in
No,
order.
It's not in order.
His is still put together.
Mine was in order.
You got to get a picture of that.
It says,
Good grief.
it says, perhaps there's a better way. This is what you're talking. There's the problem. Perhaps there's a better way. We think so. For now, we're on a different basis. The difference of trusting and relying upon God. We trust infinite God rather than our finite selves. We are in the world to play the role He assigns. Just as to the extent that we do as we think He would have us and humbly rely upon Him, here's what Larry's favorite part, does He enable us to match calamity with serenity. We never apologize to anyone for depending upon our Creator. We can laugh at those that think spirituality is the way of weakness. Paradoxically, is the way of strength. The verdict of the ages, Jim, faith means courage. All men of faith have courage, not fear. When it crops up, we ask God. They trust their God. We never apologize for God. Instead, we let Him demonstrate through us what He can do. That's a prayer. We ask God. We ask Him to remove our fear and direct our attention to what He would have us be. At once, we commence to outgrow fear, like a child being afraid of the dark. Not that fears don't crop up. The 10th step says, we continually watch for resentment, selfishness, dishonesty, and fear. When these crop up, not if, we ask God to remove them at once, and then we do these 5 things actually, that help us. But you can't stay in that because we'll make a bad decision. Well, any decision you make based on fear, guilt, shame, remorse is a bad decision. Absolutely wrong. I've never seen it any other way. And that's an absolute.
Yeah,
so if you have a fear, whether it's relapse, character defects, which character defect are you afraid of? Whichever one, put it on paper, take it to the Lord, and he's not going to ever snap it away. He might put, you pray for patience, you're going to be on an airplane for 10 hours with a crying fucking baby.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, he's going to give you opportunity to strengthen that area of your life.
It's like one time I heard you say it says right in the book, faith without works is dead.
Chapter 2, verse.
Yeah, James.
But
chapter 2,
I
verse 20.
put that together because I started thinking back when I was out there drinking, I would sit there with a bottle of Jack.
Here it comes.
That a boy.
Yeah.
Good choice.
God,
Sponsored by.
take this away. Make me not drink this. Oh, you didn't? Well, the action is I got to put that bottle away.
Right.
That
You cannot, don't pray for a hole while you're leaning on a shovel.
I had faith there was God, and I had faith He could help me, but I wasn't willing to do any action.
You had belief. Belief always precedes faith. You had belief that chair would hold your weight but you didn't have any faith until you put your ass in it. Trust is action. Faith and trust equal action. Belief is just belief. We believed in God, but we never put any trust in Him. We put our trust in ourselves. We put our trust in the booze. Because I guarantee you, and you had more faith in that chair. I saw you walk in. You didn't check the wheels. You didn't kick the motherfucker or nothing. You just pulled it out and sat in it. You exemplified more faith in that chair than most people will ever do in God. Right. Why? That's our Creator. It's tough, though. It's tough to start that walk, especially in sobriety.
So it was belief, not faith.
Yeah. That's why pain.
And He didn't magically make it go away.
You walk by a rock every day. It looks like a 200-pound boulder. I believe I can pick it up, but you keep walking. You believe it. The one day you grab a hold of that motherfucker and you lift it. The next time you come by, you have faith. I know I can. It's like God. And your faith will grow as you put now, when we came in here full of fucking pain, right? We didn't want to let any of this shit go. That bomb blew up. You tried to kill it. You tried to kill yourself. So everybody else would have to feel it. That's, but I've been there. I know exactly what you're feeling. However, and we never gave it to God. Look how far we were willing to go to not deal with it. But then once you give it, once you were in enough pain to change, that's why human beings move at the speed of pain. We do. Alcoholics all the more. When the pain we're in becomes greater than our fear of change, we'll change, but never before. Until that pain threshold is met, we will stay there. Stay in the shit.
You can't use all your Rob-isms today.
I apologize.
No, I'll tell you why. Because I've been throwing them around in Denver, and they think I'm smart. I'm throwing shit around, and they're like, where did you come up with that? Well, I didn't want to tell them it came from this guy.
So if there's a fear, do the same thing you did when you first got here. Either put it in a step form or just a verbal form. Like I'll call Larry. Hey, Larry, I got a fucking resentment. Who? This prick in a Prius that's driving ahead of me or whatever. All right, because I want to be free of that resentment.
Now, the resentments I've been doing real good is the self, I don't want to say self-loathing. It's It's the shit I did.
Feels, yeah. The
but you
guilt.
know what? That's going to go. Hold on. This
Eventually,
comes back.
eventually, the guilt, shame will start to go.
But this,
And it's getting better. It's
that's that living amends, and you've heard me talk about that, Jim, several times. And I mean, I struggled with that.
Me too.
Big time in the beginning. I still struggle with it from time to time, especially when hold on a second. I can't go any further. What he just did a few minutes ago is the reason why I love that man beyond all measures. He's got away with words when it comes to this book, and not only our big book, but how he brings our Bible, the Lord's words and this book together. I literally sit here in amazement and listen to you speak, Rob. I really do. But now that little prick, I have to say that because I have to go back in another form. That form is I got to hate him for a minute because it's the only way we get along, right? But that living amends, and you may have heard me say this, and I've said it many times, but after I'd done all my 9 steps, and I did them fast, right? And I mean, when I got those on paper, I wanted to get that shit. Like I said, when it started coming out of me, I wanted it out. I wanted it all out, right? I didn't want anything left in there. So when I put my 8s down and I was like, nope, I'm going tomorrow. And I took the day off. I did. I called in. I said, I'm going. And I went after them. And I got all of them done except for a couple. And the next day I went back after the rest of them. And I remember coming back. I was driving back from Roseville. And I remember I was right here on this road all the way back from Roseville. And I was coming down the road here to the house. And I called Rob. I'm like, dude, I've been thinking about this, but in all this stuff I've been going through, I feel great, but there's still one I don't know how to do. And that's myself. And he says, Larry, that's called a living amends to yourself. The same way you got to do with your wife, your kids. That's just living amends as you go through life, right? And it says that in our big book. It says as we go multiple times in that first 164, because as we go through this,
it's a process. It's a continual process.
And as our good starts to get more and more in our lives, and the more we give to other alcoholics, the more we give ourselves to other people, the less of that I feel, right? When I start feeling that again, it's because I'm not giving this stuff, that God gave us to give back. It's because I haven't been giving it to another human being, right? That's when that other stuff starts coming into me. And I'm like, I gotta talk to somebody. I gotta work with I gotta do something, right? Doug said this just the other day. We were sitting in the men's group and on our Monday night, and he looked at me and he's like, I gotta get another sponsee, right? Because we have to do it. We have to give it away. If we're not giving it away, we start thinking that we're a piece of shit. We start thinking about those old things that we did. We start thinking about that. We start thinking about self instead of giving it away. And when we start thinking about self, we're in trouble.
Right. And that's what I love about this program. I love helping people, and I love the ability to speak. And honestly, maybe that's why I hounded you guys, because I wanted to get on here.
I love to speak.
And honestly, here's the real reason.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I was going to say it, but he interrupted.
Well, here's the book. Here's what the book says about why we give it away too. And again, why I don't think about the relapse, because I've never left. I've like you jump.
Hold on, before you go on, I want to clarify that, because I want to make sure I do think about relapse. I do.
No, I know what you guys mean.
Okay, all right.
So, Jim, it says this.
Okay, I love his eyes lighting up.
It's pamphlet.
For if an alcoholic, because yesterday I got a call from one of my brothers, a gentleman that I worked with, he had a year and a half sober, about where you were at, was at a casino, drunk, because this is what he didn't do right here.
What page?
This is bottom page 14, the bill story.
Okay.
It says, for if an alcoholic, which is everybody in this room except this young lady, failed to perfect and enlarge his spiritual life through work. How, Larry? Through work and self-sacrifice for others. And sometimes that others is damn sure the ones in your home, obviously.
Yeah.
He could not survive the certain trials and low spots ahead. If he did not work, he would surely drink. And if he drank, he would surely die. Then faith would be dead indeed. For with us just like that. That's why we work. Now, again, I know I enjoy. There's the greatest gift, as you're going to learn. Sponsoring him, some people like him. I mean, which is rare to get someone. But
that would be tough.
But no, well, you're right. But the great part is, when I started doing it 9 years ago, when I looked, hey, why do I sponsor people this way? It's bullshit, because everything I do today, the reason I do it, well, God showed me, and I can not defend it, but it's right here. Nothing. No, I don't add shit. It's all from here. But when you get a man like that, that's hungry, which I've been able to have a few, it's easy. But to watch the light come on and
Yeah.
what I've been chasing with drugs, sex, everything, but that trying to feel
It's
that
drug.
Yeah.
it's amazing. And God gave it to me.
I
And
said
that's
that.
what I chased for years.
But I know
Just-
if I don't do these things, eventually, if I
didn't
don't
like
work,
who I was. I didn't like that guy, so I chased everything.
Right.
try
Just
to
to
numb
cover
it.
that son of a bitch up because I knew what a dirtball he was inside.
And just the opposite of that.
But
what
now I'm
he-
the opposite.
Well,
Right.
We can't. What Rob read over there is a calamity with serenity, right? That's serenity.
That's
when I
his
learned
tattoo.
that's what when I said the other night. That's what these two rivers slamming together on the back of my arm. And that's calamity and serenity. When I was in Maynard's, I was baffled by that. Baffled. I remember reading it multiple times and asking other people about it and understanding how can you have. I mean, think about this. You got a screaming baby next to you. Rob said it on a plane. You got a screaming baby on a 10-hour flight. How can you find your serenity sitting next to that? That's what that really means to me, whether it's job, stress, money, whatever it is. It's that screaming baby sitting next to you. Well, where do you find your serenity in the middle of all that? Right?
in my identity, because my identity is in God now, not in myself.
Well,
it's
let's
in
go back to
in this
before we
work.
found that, right?
Oh, shit.
For how we did it was with alcohol.
How I did it was with the stewardess, get over here and get me some Jack Daniels. I'm going
Right.
to choke her and
Right.
spank him, and I'm going to hurt you for putting me next to them fuckers.
And that's what I'm talking about. We didn't know how to deal with
Yeah.
it.
No, I.
But when we got into these rooms of AA and we learned how to have that calamity and that serenity, the minute I found it, when those the minute I found it and I felt it, I was like,
I got
fuck me.
I got to have more of this. That's what he wanted.
That was like taking my first drink of alcohol. And I'm like, I need more.
Yeah.
I want every fucking ounce of that. Wherever that came from, show me.
so what he was really asking for is, God, I want more of you.
Yes.
Less of me, less of whatever this, and more of you.
No, but here's the thing, Rob. When you say that, I had God. Don't get me wrong. I didn't know. I think there was I didn't know how to accept it. Right? I didn't know
have the
how
same
to accept
understanding.
it. Right. I didn't understand. He kept trying to give it to me. Right. Give me beautiful daughters. Gave me a beautiful house. Gave me. He was giving me blessings and giving me blessings all my life. I didn't know where it was coming from, nor did I care. I prayed to him, but that was about it. I didn't know what that was. But when I felt it at that moment, I was like, yes, come. I was baptized. I taught Bibles. I taught all that. Never felt it like I felt it at that moment.
Right. And I feel the same way. I mean, when I realized I couldn't be alone with myself beforehand,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, I mean, if I sat in my head too long, I realized what I was doing wrong. So I'd go do it wrong again
Right.
to make me feel better about myself. Like, well, I can't be this bad a person because that person's willing to put up with me and that person. So I would go do it. Well, I got that too. And when I was in rehab, I started finding I could sit by myself. And that's honestly where this tattoo that says "Peace Be Still" came from, is just sitting. But then I realized when I put that on there, it was about peace and it was about calm. But then as I've moved on and understood that, it's about faith and freedom. It's not about being quiet. It's not about calming down. It's not about our Jesus calming the seas. It's about Jesus saying, don't you have faith that it doesn't matter if these waves topple us and you die.
Right.
Have faith. You know where you're going.
Right.
See, that's what we talked about. I don't know if you heard the story when the only time God's ever talked to me when I was going through cancer with the whole Bible and my son's story. Anyway, but yeah, it's about having peace, having faith in the middle of calamity. 'Cause you're going to be in calamity.
Right.
Life's going to happen. Where is your foundation? Who is your anchor? If it's you on the pedestal like I had, or Jack Daniels, if it was me, I'm shaking.
Yeah.
Because I'm not equipped for it.
Right.
And I think I was the same way. I didn't get it, obviously, but I said it in a meeting one day. I said, true serenity is not freedom from the storm. It's peace within the storm.
Within.
And when I said that, this lady came up to me and gave me a medallion for my keychain that said that. And I was like, you don't have to give that to me. I didn't make that up. I read that somewhere. She said, no, but you give me this. And that's truly it. So when I was flying here to see you guys, crying baby on the plane, screaming, going crazy. And I just read. You know, I was just able to tune it out because that poor kid doesn't want to be up in that tin can either.
Right.
More than likely, what you should do when you have a baby, right before the plane takes off, give it a bottle. Helps with the ears. Before you start,
wasn't my baby.
Before you start descending, well, I'm just saying.
And
Before,
that's what they used to do to me is give me a bottle before I took off, and it calmed everything.
but you'll have
Wrong bottle.
Oh, no,
but
Jack.
you know how the ears pop?
Yeah.
Before the plane descends, give the baby another bottle, then his ears will all that because they don't know how to do it to themselves. So there you go.
I guess
baby.
Yeah, it's not mine. I can't just. Hey, put this in your kid's mouth.
Yeah, you know
What's in there? Maybe some Jack.
It'll help you know how your ears change with elevation.
So does bubble gum.
Yeah, I tried changing my
But
ears.
you don't give a baby bubble gum though. Goddamn.
I tried to change my ears with so many bottles that the steward said, "Look, I'm not coming back, Jim."
Or you ran out.
Yeah, we're in first class, and I kept hitting the bell, ding, ding, ding. She finally said, "Look, I'm not going to keep doing this game. Here's about 4 or 5. You let me know when you're done with these, and then I'll let you come back." She turned, and I said, "Ding." She said, "I know you're not done that quick." So well, I'm close.
Hey, so that was a good one. Something was brought up in Jim's story from last week, and I wanted to bring it up because I've actually thought about this before. I've heard Johnny O say this many times, and that his sponsor told him to go out, and you are so fucking weird.
I took the mic over here so you couldn't hear me swallow.
You do have to have the pinky out.
No, I don't have
cannot
to.
Wait
It's
to
a
get
fancy
video
new
in here.
mug.
Anyways, you've
got my
heard
fucking name on it.
Johnny O when his sponsor told him when he only had like 6 or 7 days, and some guy asked him to sponsor him, and he went to his sponsor.
His sponsor goes, "Johnny, are you working with anybody?"
Right.
He's like, "Lou," is his sponsor name. "I've only been sober 6 days." Well, tell him how you fucking got 6
Right.
days. That's the equivalent of working with somebody.
But do you really think somebody? So what you said is not sponsoring somebody, right? That's not sponsoring. That to me,
That's just carrying the message.
that's carrying the message.
The message
That's
the only message you have to carry at that time, because you haven't had a spiritual awakening result of steps yet.
Right.
But what his sponsor is trying to tell him is get out of your fucking self, because you're the problem. Get out of here and get into somebody else. That's the solution.
But one of the things I've never found in the book is, and you said it before we started here. At what point do you feel it's safe for somebody to actually pick up and sponsor somebody?
Have you had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps? Period.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have nothing else to say about
carry
that.
the message.
You have no like. Well,
But in the first 64, the word sponsorship is not in there.
I
because
still ain't mature enough in this to sponsor another human being. I don't.
you've
feel
got
I am.
something they don't have.
No.
What does the book
Yeah,
say?
but
Now,
you don't know. Do you think I have a? So I'm going back to this. When I look at somebody else and I see the way they speak, I see the way they what?
Go ahead.
What the fuck?
I'm going to tell you what the book says, not what Rob
That's
says.
what I'm trying to fucking get to, you prick. I said it twice. What does the book say?
Our book is meant to be suggested only. We realize we only know a little, but God will constantly disclose more to you and us. Ask him in your morning meditation what you can do for the man who is still sick. Right? The answers will come if your own house is in order. But obviously, you cannot transmit something you haven't got. See that your relationship with him is right, and great events will come to pass for you and countless others. This is the great fact of us. So if you've had a spiritual awakening result of steps, you have exactly the message. What does Bill say? Step 12. We tried to carry this message. Very specific. Right. What is this message? I'm going to tell you, you're going to hear rooms, Jim. Well, I think the message, tell that guy, shut the fuck up. Because the author of the book who wrote that also tells us what the message is. You go back to the end of the last page to the forward of the first edition. It says this: we of Alcoholics Anonymous are more than 100 men and women who have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of body and mind. To show other alcoholics precisely how we have recovered is the main purpose of this book. So the message we're supposed to carry to the alcoholic when you come in, hey, you can recover from alcoholism. You can recover from a seemingly hopeless state of body and mind. And I can show you precisely how to do that because I've done it through working these steps. And if you've done that, you can go. Will you do it perfectly? No. Will you do it better as you practice? But yes, but you can go. This book was written, right, to go out. Right. Well, I've shared it through many podcasts. Right. It was going to go out from Akron in New York because there was only AAO back there. Back out here to California, some guy's going to grab it, do this process. And what does Bill say in the back of the book? We would love to hear from you who have not only got results, but have begun to work with other alcoholics. Dr. Bob, if you go to page 184, Bill Dodson, AA number 3, Bill Dodson was his sobriety date is June 26th, 1935. The birth of AA is June 10th, 1935, Dr. Bob's first day of continuous sobriety. Dr. Bob was 16 days sober, working with Bill Dodson. So how long did Dr. Bob take to work his steps? Sometime within that time.
Right.
And he's carrying the message because he's had a spiritual awakening as a result of steps. You carry the message. You're going to do it better as you go. Of course you are. But the book says, go. It'll get you out of your own head and it'll get you into service to somebody else.
I think the reason why that question,
Sorry.
I brought it up is no, don't apologize. It's why I got you wound up.
I know.
I try to get you wound up. I fucking crank on your tail.
I just realized
so often.
you may need to go back to the old boom mics because when those hands start flying, he gets a lot of this thumping.
He was hitting them before.
Oh, was he?
Yeah,
Okay.
because they were out here. Now he's got room to throw his arms. So the reason why I bring that up, and maybe I'm just a judgmental prick, but I hear some of these guys that they've worked their steps.
Well, you'll hear in the treatment centers.
Right.
That ask Chris Lytle, and a lot of the treatment centers that you shouldn't sponsor unless you have 5 years sobriety. You know
I
how
think
many
that's
fucking
bullshit.
people would die if you had to wait that long?
Bullshit. I've never heard that.
A lot of treatment centers will teach
I
that.
have never heard it, but I do see people that I see.
Abby
I just got
Thatcher,
my first sponsee, and I'm like, motherfucker, you barely do your own fucking. You're barely doing your own shit.
But if he's had a spiritual, Abby Thatcher was
Maybe that's my own judgmental fucking mind.
Abby Thatcher was too much sober, working with Bill W. I know this was a 6 Oxford attendance at that time, so those of you who know AA or listen to the podcast, I know Bill Wilson was 6 months sober, working with Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob and Bill. Dr. Bob was 16 days, and Bill probably a little over a year working with Bill Dodson. So if you've had, you can't transmit what you haven't got. If you've got it, give it away.
Give it away.
Well, and I think in early sobriety, really early, I mean, I'm still early, but when I was really early, I liked talking to people, but I didn't feel I had enough to give away to be a sponsor.
I don't really like talking.
But we smell the sarcasm.
Look out for the fucking lightning. Jeez.
Sorry,
You can't lie. This is rigorous honesty.
No, well, I guess.
But
I pray in the beginning not to lie.
I didn't mind
That's normally that
talking
prayer's
to
for
people,
me.
but I didn't feel like I had enough to give away. Now, when I finally, I kind of made it up in my mind. I would see when I would get down the 12 steps and be it that year, and then I felt comfortable to give it away.
Let's help these people because that's wrong. It's not the amount that matters. It's the content that matters. It's not the amount of what you have to give away that matters. It's the content that matters.
Right.
The spiritual awakening result of these steps. You've had that. Go give it to somebody. Show them how you got it. It's not the amount. Right. No, the amount doesn't matter. But a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people. I haven't been sober long enough.
I need a little more amount to get a little more content, if that makes sense. Like
that's wrong thinking. That's what the book says.
Okay.
So I can tell you right now,
but here's the thing.
Most profound things I ever heard in a room. The most profound thing I ever heard in the room. I was sober probably about 4 or 5 months when you and I started chairing that primary purpose, our home group's primary purpose too.
Laugh.
And yes, he knows where I'm going. And I don't remember what the topic was. And there was a girl sitting in the back of the room, and she had I don't even know. She had a lot of mental issues.
She's still struggling.
Yeah, she's still struggling. And she literally said, I heard myself laugh today for the first time.
Out loud.
Out loud. Yeah. And I'm like, I was struggling at the time, right? I was about 4 or 5 months, and I was really struggling finding that trying to get that should be light. Rule 62, don't take yourself so fucking serious, right? I was struggling with that, and I heard her say that, and it literally snapped me out, right? So I don't think when I saw her months later, I told her, you said this, and she's like, I don't remember saying it. So something you say, you may not even know you're saying it.
Right.
You may not even
It's that one nugget that somebody needs.
It's a nugget of somebody. I mean, Rob says them all the time, right? And I get them from him. He has no fucking clue what he's saying. But, you know, he's
not wrong. He's not wrong.
He's not. He'll tell you all the time. I don't even remember saying that. You know, he says it, you know, and you'll see it tomorrow night in our men's group. There's a lot that goes on inside that. I will hear shit going on somebody. I'm like overhearing conversation. I'll hear somebody say something. I'll have to go over and, hey, what did you just say? Right? Because there's certain things that trigger us in our mind. Same thing as a PTSD, right? There's certain things. Rob don't like the word trigger, but in this instance, it's a true fact. There's things that trigger.
I'm saying with alcoholism, alcoholics.
No, I understand, but there's certain things that'll trigger a thought in your head.
Yeah.
And you go, what did he just say? I like the way he said that, right? I love quotes. I love hearing that kind of stuff because it reminds me of certain things that helps me, brings me back, remembering something. And like I said, every time I feel it starting to get a little shitty, I remember what Erica said in the back of that room, and it was, I heard myself laugh for the first time.
Well, and I agree with you. I always agree with you guys on that word trigger. Like a trigger to make me drink. Oh, my sister-in-law said a mean thing to me. That trigger. No, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
You're the only trigger that's going to make yourself drink.
Correct.
Now, there's things that are going to trigger a memory or something like that.
Absolutely.
And like laughing and joking. When I went away to Shatterproof, all of a sudden I started getting light again. I was always a prankster, jokester, messing with people. And when I went away there, it started coming back.
All right.
I ordered myself a trophy from Amazon that said Jim Hart 2024 Rehab Trauma Camp MVP. And I had it shipped to me. And then I walked around for like a week telling people, hey, did you vote for MVP? And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, well, go to the nurses station. They said, well, I went in there. There was no vote. I said, no, you got to go to Central Nurses. Oh, okay. No, I didn't find it. No, the med office. So I did this for a week. Well, then all of a sudden one day I came out on my balcony with the trophy and said, thank you all so much. I'm going to give a speech. And people are like, what in the fuck is it? But I got that back.
You lost your mind again.
No,
Because I had been so down
Right.
that all of a sudden being sober, being in this environment triggered my memory to remember how fun life was.
Right.
You know, and I started getting back to that. So there's always something that's going to trigger
and it's
a memory.
I struggle with that still to this day. Like my babies will come over here, my grandbabies will come over here screaming and blah, 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 blah. And I start to get irritated because literally I want to just not have that around. And I get irritated and I'm like, you fucking idiot. You're lucky to even be here. You're lucky to even be here. And then I can feel myself coming back out of that. And it's just, I struggle with, and you know what? I've been that way all my life though. Not that a depression thing's coming in. It's just when I want it quiet, I want it fucking quiet. Right. I used to go into my room after football practices and shut down after football practices or shut down after a baseball game I just need it quiet. So there's times where I come home from work and I don't want that. And I have to remind myself, you need to be a fun papa. The last thing those kids need to remember when they get older, the memories I have of my grandpa as being a grumpy old prick, I don't want my babies having that memory. So I struggle with that to keep that lightness and that Rule 62 because I am taking myself too fucking serious.
Well, and those are the most beautiful 4 words that I've learned in Alcoholics Anonymous. It's not about me.
Right.
Not about me.
Right.
Once if I keep that forefront, maybe it's about my wife today. Maybe it's about my kid or anybody else but fucking me because I'm not much, but sometimes I'm all I think about.
Right.
And I got to get that out. But see, but where you're at, I want to go back to the. We need to break it down. Okay, I don't think I've got enough to to sponsorship. I've only been sober a year. I don't know if I have enough to give away. Remember, it's not the amount. It's the what's in it.
Quantity.
But
Quality.
yeah, what you're feeling is fear.
Yeah.
You're afraid. I don't have enough. What if this guy goes by? We don't get anybody sober, and we don't get anybody drunk. That's on them. If you have the gift to give away, if you just got it for one day, I just got done with my steps, and somebody asks you do it. Because you've got what they need, as far as the book is concerned. Doesn't matter how long you've had it or how short you've had it. You have it. Right. Give it away.
Right.
And let God have it. Great things will happen. It's because it's not about us. It's damn sure ain't about me.
It's all about you.
And what also, right here.
Here he goes. Here he goes.
The 10th step. The 10th step, if you got a sponsor.
This is why I came to watch you.
If you have a sponsor, or you heard someone in the room say, I do my 10th step at night. You walk up to him after the meeting and say, you got a shit sponsor, buddy. Read the fucking book. Don't tell them that, but they do. It says here, the 10th step. This 10th step is how you conduct yourself throughout your day. Yep. Step 11 talks about when we retire at night, upon awakening, prayer. And you're going to find out that's why step 11 isn't in this step. I'm going to read to you. It says, this thought, Jim, brings us to step 10, which suggests we take personal inventory as we continue to set right any new mistakes as we go along, as we vigorously commit this way of living as we clean up the past. So as you did the best you could for your night step, all you could do, right? The best you could do. Now start step 10 because you righted almost every wrong you could. Now, this is how we conduct ourselves. We have entered the world of the spirit. Our next function is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. This is not an overnight matter. It should continue for a lifetime. This is how we do it. Continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. We learned about those words in the 4th step. When these crop up,
Not if.
we ask God to remove them. We ask God at once to remove them. Okay, removal of defects of character, step 6 and 7. That's what we learned about that. We discuss them with someone immediately. That's confession, step 5. And make amends quickly if we harmed anybody. Okay, we learned about amends in 8 and 9. Then we resolutely turn our thoughts to someone we can help, step 12. Love and tolerance for others is our code. So if I'm practicing my 10th step throughout my day, I have the opportunity to do steps 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 12. That's how you stay clean. If anything crops up, dude, I just passed someone in the super. Tell them about the Cindy's encounter.
Oh, yeah. I'd done all my steps, right? And I'd forgotten about one. This prick, I said all the time, if I ever run into that prick, I'm probably going to punch him right in the fucking mouth, right? And I mean, they could be listening, and I don't really care. We rented a house from them. It was a shit show, and it was bad. And there was words spoken and behind back and blah, blah, blah. And I always said, if I ever run into that prick, I'll punch him in the fucking mouth. I literally hated this guy.
Resentment.
Oh, it was bad. And like I said, I don't even know what to do with this one because if I ever run into him, we were sitting at Cindy's probably 6 months. It wasn't very far.
No.
8 months. I don't even remember why we were eating breakfast there. And all of a sudden I see this guy's son come walking in. I'm like, huh, okay. Then I see his wife come walking in, and then back, just immediately I felt it. I knew. Well, I saw him come walking across. And I walked out, I shook his hand. He gave me a big old hug. I told him I was sorry. It happened just like that.
He made amends.
Yeah.
Made amends.
God will give you those.
But
I didn't, hold on. It wasn't just an amends.
No.
I didn't feel like I owed him an apology.
Right.
I didn't.
That I think is a little different.
I didn't feel like I owed him an apology. What I did apologize for all the hateful things that I thought, all the hateful things that I was wishing, all that hate that I had inside of me. For him, I apologize for having those feelings. It's not that I ever did.
No.
He never did anything for me. I apologize for the hate and everything I had in him for those years.
Well, we did that as alcoholics. I mean, we sat in the garage. How many arguments you have with that guy in your garage when he wasn't even there? You sat down,
just taking poison, hoping he dies.
What a son
every
of a bitch
time I
he is.
saw his son, or saw his wife, that guy.
I won every argument and fight
and they're
I ever
good
got
fucking
into.
people.
Every argument and fight I ever got into in my garage when nobody was there,
Right.
I won every fucking one.
Everyone.
He'll say that, then I'm going to come back with this. Then they'll probably say this, then I'm going to come back with I got
20
and,
no, baby.
and then
20 no.
there's people you don't recognize. Like I had some amends that I didn't know I needed to make. And I saw this little girl walk in this room and I remembered something that I had said that had upset her that went from this person to this person. I don't even remember what it was, but I was humble enough to walk up and say, man, whatever I said, you did not deserve that. And I'm sorry. And I'm sorry that I even drug you into the mess. You didn't belong there. And I just want to make an amends.
Have you had one happen immediately yet?
What do you mean?
That something pukes out of your mouth and immediately you recoil it?
Yeah, I think I've done that.
Like you bit someone's head off and you had to make
you're in Home Depot, maybe the cashier.
Fuck you, goddamn it, you listen to
What?
Jesus.
I just meant maybe in Home Depot you might yell at a cashier or something. That's all.
Yeah, he's listened to every episode.
Yeah,
I haven't
did.
even said that about Jim. He literally, to do his homework, he literally listened to all 58 episodes.
Well, just so you
and
know,
he's 59 and 60, so he listened to every one of them.
Most of it was just to make fun, just because I'm back to that joke. So I just want to make sure I got all the jokes ready to go, the bullshit ready
and
to fly.
And you did. Oh, Jim, this has been a blast.
And those are called what I call those grocery store amends. When you'll see someone like, dude, they weren't even on my paperwork, but I know, and God's given. And this is for my brother Doug. Listen, Doug, Doug and I sponsor each other. So and he's had it a couple times with the same person. But those, for me, those are the beautiful ones. So those are the ones God wants me to do. They weren't on my paperwork. I was thorough. I mean, I wanted to get them done. I didn't. And all of a sudden, you pass them in a grocery store. I owe that. Are you going to go do it? That's what God wants. So, are you still obedient? Do you how much freedom? How free?
I would do it immediately.
How free do you want to be? I mean,
I know how free.
free do you want to be?
Those are the great ones. Go do it.
Yeah, I have felt that over and over and over again, and I will not miss an opportunity. I won't.
It's action. That's what God wants. That's why when and I've been with you, bottle of Jack Daniels on my knees, Lord, please remove this from me.
Right.
It's not his to take. It's mine to give.
Right.
And I wouldn't give it.
Yeah.
I'd give it my way. And he says, son, don't pray for a hole while you're leaning on the shovel. Start fucking digging. Get in that. If you want the third step prayer to come to life in your life, do steps 4 and 5.
Right.
If you want the 7-step prayer, which is one of the greatest prayers, if you want that to come to fruition, you got to do steps 8 and 9. You got to go do the work and show God, I'm serious. I just asked you for this. grand prayer. This is how serious I am. It's going to happen.
I don't think you can get to any of those without doing that prayer right there.
No.
Yeah,
Because if you ain't willing to turn yourself, if you're not willing to turn it over and say, take all of this.
Well, and that's
Take
what
all this.
I like 7 too, because it's the same thing. Hey, my creator,
Right.
Good and bad. Here you go.
take it
bad.
all.
Right.
Take everything.
And he's the arbiter
Right.
to decide what's good. Because I thought there's some character defects I had. He's going to rip that right out. Thank God, because I don't need that. I can't even fight that one. He left it. He just showed me how to use it.
He did. He left a few in there that I didn't
He
realize.
left the asshole in me, and I don't know why he did that one.
Because it's a whole you.
Yeah.
You take it,
We
if
gotta
he took
go.
the asshole away 6'3", you would disappear.
It'd just be the center part of a donut.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Jim, awesome! I can't wait to have you at the meeting tomorrow night with us. I think it's going to be fun.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you
Step
guys.
6, right?
Step 6,
12 and 12, yeah.
Well, if we get to it, for God's sakes, no, we did last week.
Yeah.
There's times, like I said, the last 2 weeks, it's just been nothing but.
Well, the week before that, Brandon,
Right.
But
Brother
that's
Brandon.
and that's why we're there.
Right.
If we get to a page, we get to a page. We get to help a
someday
brother.
we'll get Sean over there with us.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Mary.
Good times.
Yes.
Well, you tell him to get his ass over there. It's a great time. Anyways, Jim, I can't wait to have you with you. The last week and this week, it's just.
And Mary, thank you for stepping up and doing what you do for us.
Actually, yeah, Mary, incredible. I am so blessed that God damn it.
Don't talk about blessing and then just throw the GD in.
He throws a GD in right after he said, "We're so blessed." God damn it!
I'm getting better.
You know what? My Lord loves me.
No matter what.
He knows that's part of that thing that he hasn't taken from me.
I know, me too.
I have to give it away, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, me too. I like that.
And you know what? Tammy will be mad at me if I stop. If I stop.
If you stop dropping F-bombs, she'll be mad.
I know. Anyways, Mary, you're awesome. I freaking love it that you're here.
That was a good one, Jim. That was powerful, man.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I liked it.
And I'm grateful I haven't
I'm not giving a strange baby on a plane a bottle, Rob, but I'll do some other shit.
Wait, no, you smacked the parent. You smacked the parent upside the head. Hey, the ears need to pop. Give the baby a bottle before we descend, and that'll help. It's easy on the baby.
I don't know. I'm out of here. Later. Thank you for joining us today.
We hope you learned something today that will help you.
If you did not, come back next week and we'll try again.
If you like what we heard, give us a 5-star review. If you don't like what you heard, kiss my... You can't say that, can you? Anyway, if you don't like what you heard, go ahead and tell us that too. We'll see what we can improve. We probably won't change nothing, but do it anyway.
Hey, thanks, Rob. Come back next week and hopefully something will be different and something will sink in. Take
This
care.
has been Recovery Unfiltered.